Hi everyone, welcome to Curly Hair Artistry. My name is Scott Musgrave. Today's episode is going to be about dandruff. I struggled with dandruff most of my life and no longer have it, except for occasional maybe temporal area seasonal flaking. But the majority of my daily existence now has no dandruff. I don't have to worry about wearing dark clothing. It doesn't snowflake all over me. And I have to say that over 80% of my clients no longer have dandruff either, because the things that you do to your scalp reveal what it does to your body. So if you are drying out your scalp will reproduce skin cells that will flake up and shed all over the place. So why do you have dandruff? So I've got some notes, and I like to keep a journal of what I'm doing. This way I track what I'm keeping up with and sharing information about you. If you subscribe to the link down below, check out my affiliate links, because I'll have a few products that help out with scalp issues. And I also wanted to share a little bit more about why people have oily scalp, because in the curly hair universe, not many people with curly, wavy hair have oily scalp. Most people have a dry scalp, so that's kind of fascinating. And I truly believe one of the culprits of dandruff is using a product with sodium lauryl sulfate in it, which is a lathering agent, and it's a little bit too harsh for most people's scalps. So sodium lauryl sulfates and sodium lauryl sulfate, there's three sulfates that are generally in most shampoos. And when you use a shampoo that's meant for dandruff and it has sodium lauryl sulfate in it, you're drying out your scalp. Your body is saying reproduce skin cells rapidly to make up for that, and that causes dandruff. So I used some products like Head and Shoulders, and I would buy the 2-in-1, and I would buy a huge bottle of it like at Costco or BJ's. And it even says rinse and repeat, and I would do it twice, and by the end of the day my shirts are covered with flakes and my scalp would itch. So I changed from sodium lauryl sulfate based products. Now sodium lauryl sulfate is usually found in toothpaste, detergents, dishwashing fluids, even car washes, and that is just too harsh for our scalp. So one of the things that I switched over to, because I was going through this phases in my earlier ages. I started getting massive dandruff when I was going through puberty in high school, so 8th, 9th, 10th grade, and it's kind of odd because I went from high school to the Marine Corps, and when they shaved my head, I no longer had dandruff. So your heat is captured inside a lot of hair, and people with a lot of hair a lot of times can have a moist environment from sweat, from letting your hair air dry for hours over and over, and it can produce some fungus. So sometimes you have a fungal growth and it needs to come off your scalp. Another thing that causes a little bit of buildup is when you have a thick amount of hair and you're a rushy type person, and I'm a rushy person. I want to get things done and get in and out and get going. So a lot of rushy people, especially with thick, massive hair, just do not spend a lot of time rinsing products off of their scalp. You can even leave a little bit of shampoo residue on your scalp with repetition over and over, drying out your scalp, because it dries as a detergent. You've seen detergent dry on glass or a surface counter. If it dries on your scalp, it produces a film, and the film can start shedding off, and it's not really dandruff, it's just product residue. Same with other things. If you are putting styling products in or near or on your scalp, you should never put a product on your scalp for a styling product, because when your hair is wet, the product can melt through and go onto your scalp, and with repetition, when you scratch your scalp, you'll notice a big flake come off, and it's product residue buildup. So you have product residue buildup, you have residue buildup from shampoo that's not properly rinsed off, and those things just build up over time and some people think it's dandruff, and it's not dandruff, it's product residue. Some people do have true dandruff, and when you use a dandruff shampoo and the sodium lauryl sulfate, again, dries out your scalp, your body wants to reproduce skin cells to make up for taking off and drying out your scalp. Now for people with oily scalp, when you use shampoo for oily scalp, your body says, ooh, my scalp is dried out, I need to pump out oil to compensate for the dryness. By the end of the day, you look like you have a lot of a greasy buildup and a residue buildup. Something else that contributes, that's an unknown thing that's not really discussed much, is hard water. Hard water can build up on the scalp and on the hair, and it makes it look greasy. Your hair is not greasy, it's a residue of oil or mineral deposits that are shiny. And if you have wavy hair or straight hair, and it's straighter up here and wavy here and coily down here, you have three different things going on. And the straighter hair up here, the cuticle is closed down and it's very shiny. And it gets a little bit dull here and it's more dull down here. So you don't want to put styling products up here, because most styling products have shine agents in it to make dull hair a little bit shiny. So when you put shiny products on with shiny ingredients on shiny hair, it looks greasy, but it's not oil. So you need to know, is your scalp oily, or is it the products making your hair look oily? Also, hard water builds up and accumulates like a sticky substance over hair over time, and a lot of people have hard water. And that hard water that builds up can start to look greasy and start to produce some kind of buildup that will shed and look like dandruff. That's a lot going on for a lot of people. So what can you do? And it's really odd. I have a smiley face on my thing. I have never seen a bald person, mostly guys, bald guys or a person with dandruff. And like I said, I think hair just builds up and holds up heat, and for some people it can produce an environment that produces bacteria, because when you do a search on this and it says diet, stress, hormones, water, and buildup are all factors. Now, I can meditate a lot, I can eat an awesome diet, and no matter what, I would have dandruff. I took care of myself, I was healthy growing up, I did a lot of fitness things, I was into weightlifting, bodybuilding. It doesn't really show now, but I love to still take care of myself. But it's shampoo that would dry my scalp out, and by the end of the day, I would have flakes. So one of the things that you can do is put a filter, and I'll have a link down below to the filter. It's been helping a lot of people. It's not very expensive. It's only like $35. You change the filters a couple times a year, and if you live in an apartment, you can just screw off the nozzle for the shower head, take it off, save it, put this new nozzle on, and you got a filter. And then when you move out, put the new filter back in, and it's super simple to install, even by yourself. So change that water filter, and the filter doesn't really eliminate total hard water, but it does reduce minerals and other deposits that get on your skin and on your hair. And I've had people say their hair and their skin felt better just from this inexpensive shower head filter. And one of the other things that you can do if you want to, and it's something that we did, we invested in a soft water filtration system for our whole house. And that water, because we had well water, and the well water would come through, it'd be brown, yellow, and even very dark, muddy, thick, sticky, leave a dark residue a couple times a month with no notice. So it's been worth the investment to put in a soft water filtration system to now have soft water coming through in our skin, hair, detergent, the whole house with sinks, toilets, dishwasher, washing machine, all now are doing much better with that system that's put in there. So one of the next things that you can do is start switching over. Stop using Head and Shoulders. Stop using some of the harsh detergents. Now, some of you guys guys and girls, some of you people have a true problem that needs a medicinally based shampoo that you can put on your scalp. And I really recommend that you follow through by putting a conditioner on your scalp. So if you have a dry scalp, you need to condition your scalp. If you have an oily scalp, if you keep stripping your scalp, it's going to pump out oil. I recommend using a very low lather, no sulfate based shampoo, and also condition your scalp occasionally and do both. Sometimes you have to shampoo your scalp to get with your medicinally based thing, then co-wash, which is taking a conditioner and washing your scalp with a conditioner, and that rehydrates your scalp so it tricks your body into not reproducing oil or a bunch of dry flakes, shedding skin cells. So that's something that is very important to try to do. Now I do have a product that has helped a lot of people, and it's Derma E. And this has helped a lot of people that have had red spots, huge flakes that build up over here that just accumulate. My son had it for years, and this is a scalp relief conditioner. So I want you to try something that's totally opposite than what you think you should do. Instead of washing your scalp, I want you to consider co-washing, using a conditioner to wash your scalp. Put this product on your scalp, rinse it off like you normally do, put conditioner on your hair, and then your scalp is hydrated. And I started doing this years ago, and it took me 4 weeks to go through this. I was taking breaks, and I would use water on my scalp instead of shampoo on my off days. 2 or 3 times a week, I would use co-washing to cleanse my scalp and remove any kind of sweat, any kind of buildup. But every day I would either wet it, and on the other off days, 2 or 3 days a week, I would put co-washing on there. And I tell you, there was like week 2, my scalp would itch, but then again, I realized my arm itches or my chest itches, or I get an itch back here, and I get a lot of itches back here. And for some reason, I think it's because I'm not shampooing, and it's not true. You just have to ride it out. And on week 4, I was getting ready to give up, go right back to Head and Shoulders. The dandruff went away, the itching went away. It was like my scalp needed to detox from shampooing. So I've told this story to many people, and I found out that from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, usually nobody else has gone months, but it's usually within that range, the itching stops and the flaking stops, and it's almost like a miracle because you can wear dark clothing again, you can itch your scalp without a snowstorm falling down. It truly is amazing. And like I said, about 80% of my clients no longer have dandruff. A lot of my clients that had oily scalps can now go into day 2, and some can go day 3 without looking like an oil slick. That's amazing, because most people by the end of the day have an oil spot or a slick or a flat spot in the back. So learning to use a filter, co-washing a little bit more, and alternating that with a sulfate-free cleanser, and then that overall helps to manage your scalp. So some of the things that are out there are, hold on one second. Malibu does have a scalp therapy treatment packet that are about 12 bucks. So this packet is something that you sprinkle on your hands on wet hair and just rub it into your scalp. And I believe this helps. Now the main ingredient in this is L-ascorbic acid. So I go to Whole Foods and I buy straight up vitamin C, and the main ingredient on this is L-ascorbic acid, and I sprinkle this on my fingers or on a co-wash, and occasionally, this is a detox for your scalp that you do occasionally. Now these are temporary fixes in the term that if you do this thinking it's gonna get rid of your dandruff problems, and then you go back to shampooing, you're just doing something that's temporary, but in the long run will not solve it because you're damaging your scalp in a small way. You're kind of damaging your scalp to reproduce skin cells again or pump out oil. So I think these are helpful to use occasionally, but I never had to use them. And some people still use these just to detox their hair, because if you choose not to get a water filtration system, then you should use a detox once in a while on your scalp and on your hair, maybe once a month or something like that. I also have one other one, and I really like this one a lot. It's Brio Geo Scalp Revival. It's a charcoal coconut micro exfoliating shampoo. This stuff is great. It's like charcoal based. Has a really pleasant minty kind of fragrance to it that smells very spa-like. I love it. So this stuff, when you take this, and I even put it on my scalp dry, and I rub it in, and I'll dip in, and I'll rub a little bit more. I leave it on for about 30 minutes, and I can feel that mint, and I feel like my scalp's starting to invigorate, and I'm bringing up blood flow, because a dry scalp needs blood flow. going up to keep it in a healthy state. And once you do this and you get under the shower, it immediately starts lathering up, and it really kind of strips and cleans your scalp and your hair. So I immediately follow up with not another shampoo, because this is considered like a cleansing revival, and it says exfoliating shampoo, so you don't need to shampoo it out. I immediately follow up with a conditioner and co-wash my scalp, co-wash my hair, and I go through my routine that I call Cultivate Your Curls. There's a link down below for Cultivate Your Curls with a mat method. I use the mat method on my hair, and this keeps my hair looking great all day long, even in the North Carolina swampy humidity. It holds up really well. So that's it for the dandruff, and a little bit of information for the oily hair and oily scalp as well. I'm a specialist in curly hair, and I also teach hairstylists around the globe with live trainings and also online training. So if you're a hairstylist, you want more information on Curly Hair Artistry Mastery Program, that information also is down below. Feel free to leave me a comment, leave me a message. Get up with me and let me know your thoughts about what's working for you in the area of dandruff and oily scalp, and how you keep your scalp healthy and hydrated. Some people like to use a lot of different remedies, anything from apple cider vinegar, ACV, and put that on the scalp. And again, a lot of these are temporary solutions. The biggest thing you can do is stop using shampoo on your scalp. So you guys have a great day. Leave me a question or a comment. Subscribe down below. Use those affiliate links to get your products, and that really does help out and support the channel. So thanks a lot and have a great day.